Hey guys, welcome to Early Access Podcast, episode 39. I am your host, Angelo, as per usual. And for everybody that listens from the United States, happy 4th of July or Independence Day. Hope you had a good weekend. I did. A lot of drinking, a lot of not your father's root beer. I don't know if anybody's had that yet, but it's so it's a root beer, and it's become very popular out here in New Jersey. And I'm not quite sure why. It's okay. It's spicy though. You can taste like, you know, all the seasoning that they use, all the spices that they use. Tastes like root beer. Smells like root beer though. So I've definitely had worse beers in my life. But it's good. It's, you know, you can only drink one though. It sits heavy in your stomach and it's awkward. However, women seem to like it because they don't really like beer, which doesn't really surprise me in the slightest. But since it's a holiday weekend here, surprisingly, not much has come out over the weekend. A couple news items, and then I only picked up 2 games that had come out this week. So this is gonna be a relatively short episode. But I did get to make an intro for the YouTube channel using a combination of Blender to make a digital version of the logo for early access media, and then a bunch of After Effects compositing and a bunch of Google searches, and trying to teach myself how to go back to modeling in 3D. And I went to school for animation and digital media, but that was almost 10 years ago at this point, so a lot has changed. Basically like trying to relearn how to ride a bike if the bike had 300 buttons and 10,000 different options. It was very hard. A lot of work. It took me tons of hours. I did get a chance to play a couple things though. So I talked about this in the last episode, the game called Polybridge, and it's the bridge simulator game. I just got done playing it right before this podcast, and it's a lot of fun actually. It's just like what it seems. It's a bridge simulator. You have to, build a bridge and set up, wooden pillars and cables, and, distribute the weight evenly. And it works really well. It's got some great tools for how it's, telling you where the stress points are, what you need to look at and work on to fix. And you're like jumping cars over bridges and everything. And I actually had a lot of fun with it in the first half an hour. And, looking at some of the video and everything, it just gets better and better as it goes. And, it's pretty silly. The cars try to go over and they fall into the water. Or you have to make some stuff where, you gotta make a bridge or like a drawbridge and stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff you have to do. It's really neat. Go check it out. For an early access game, it's a lot of fun. It's got a sandbox mode if you want to, mess around with your own puzzles. Actually, why is this not listed? Let me check my Steam page. So on the Steam website, it doesn't have a price on it, which is weird. So it's $11.99. It's got 29 reviews so far, and they're all positive. You can toss mine in there, so make that 30. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot to do. It's just a silly little, a silly little game that the developer put a lot of work into, which I will give a shout out to, and it is Dry Cactus. It was a pretty neat game. At least I had fun with it. Alright, next thing I wanted to mention is the game Devouring Stars has left early access. Congratulations to them. It's $8.49. It left a couple days ago. It's 15% off, so it's $8.49 right now. It's usually $10. It's got 10 reviews, 90% positive. I don't know who has the negative review on here anymore. Let's see. Can I even read it? Guy said he uninstalled it 20 minutes after installing it. Boring game with pretty graphics, hampered by annoying melodramatic mumbo-jumbo and unintuitive controls. I disagree. When I first reviewed this game, I was negative on it because it is a pretty looking game, and I agree that the mechanics were kind of weird. But however, throughout the time that it was in early access, it actually had a lot of that stuff fixed. It is kind of weird still, but enough for me to recommend checking it out if you want to give it a shot. I haven't played it since it's gotten out of early access, so I don't know how much has changed since then. But it's like, you know, one of those kinds of games like where you you have units and you're moving them from like space to space and to generate more units. But the way this works is your units are like stars that move over really nice aesthetic and background, and they absorb the stars in the atmosphere. So that's where it comes from, Devouring Stars. So that's how you get your power, and there's a finite number of stars on the map. So you're getting your power from the stars on the map, and then you're using your, I guess they're black holes, yeah, they're black holes, and you're using yours to fight the enemies. And then as they fight, you know, if you have more, you win, kind of thing. However, you can also combine your black holes, or they're called something. I can't find it right here. I don't remember what they're called, like each one is. However, you pick the ones you want to start with. So each map has, like, you can only have 4, or you can have 6 or 2 of these types of units, basically. But you can combine the units while you play, and then they get, you know, different abilities, and, like, you know, maybe they'll get a speed boost or something like that, and you can split them back up if you need to. Yeah, I think it's an interesting take on that type of game, and like I said, within the first week or so, they had addressed most of the complaints I had with the controls and the UI, and just little quality of life changes that they made to the game that actually made it a lot more fun for me. So if you're interested in that kind of game, go check it out. You know, there's a handful of positive reviews. People like it. But, you know, it's you got to get into it for the aesthetic and the gameplay, because like the one guy said, there is a lot of games like this out there that are free on the web, so it's really up to you. Alright, well, like I said, this is going to be a really short podcast, because nothing came out, and I haven't really played much, because of the holiday. It's been a holiday, like, you know, between my vacation and then this holiday, and then we just had, what, Memorial Day before that. Was it Memorial Day? Yeah, Memorial Day. You know, the past couple months have been pretty slow in the video game department, for me anyway. But 2 games did come out. This one actually, I find, it looks awesome. It's got 82 reviews, 91% positive. It's called Dungeon Souls, and it's 50% off right now, so it's $5 for the next, you know, 3 or 4 days, depending on where you're getting this, if you're getting it off of YouTube or from the podcast stream. It's called Dungeon Souls, and it's a 2D hack and slash roguelite. Roguelike. Some people call them roguelites, and I don't get it. So it's randomly generated dungeons. You know, it's a pixel art style top-down dungeon crawling roguelike. It looks really nice, though. The pixel art style is really cool. So it's just, if you like roguelikes, you're probably going to like this one. I mean, everybody seems to be jumping on board. 82 reviews for an early access game. 3 days with it within the release is pretty good, because that means there's a lot of people playing it. Yeah, like I said, the sprite animation and the pixel art looks really good. It looks pretty hectic for a roguelike. So I'm sure you're going to die a lot, but it doesn't look like you die immediately, which is kind of nice. And it's an early access, so right now you can get in pretty cheap. $5. Doesn't look like there's a demo, but the publisher's Black Shell Media. You know, they did the game Overture, which is another cool pixel art style game, and the developer is Mike Studios. So Black Shell Media has been big on getting some really cool games out there, and you know, I don't think they've had too many excuse me, too many misses, if any misses at all. So go check that out. I'll be picking it up. I'll probably get a video up at some point, yeah, in the near future. Alright, so the other game I grabbed just looks fucking weird. It's called Restricted RPS, and it says it's an online multiplayer swindle 'em up. No idea what that means. It says win RPS gambles by using information, teamwork, trickery, betrayal, leading, persuasion, and economics. It's got 3 reviews, all positive right now. I watched the trailer a couple times, and I'm not exactly sure what the game is. This review seems to be in simplified Chinese. This guy gave it a positive review, but says he'd rather see an offline story mode, and this review just says first. So I have little information about it. It says, let's see, restricted rock, paper, scissors matches. The restriction being you have a finite amount of each move. As you play, you run out of your rocks, papers, or scissors while trying to increase your star gambling chips. So it's a rock, paper, scissors game. How about that? Alright, so that's what RPS means. It's got this weird, like, rotoscope looking style animation. Reminds me of a lot of the early Flash animation. A lot of very straight lines. It looks like everything was made in Illustrator or something from years ago. I don't know what to make of this game, to be honest. It's a game. It exists. It's $5, by the way. It's $5 for the next couple days. I don't know. Go check it out if you want. I have no idea what to expect out of that one. Yeah, go check out. I just put up a new review for a game I played a while back called Curry of the Crypts. Go check out the article I wrote about open world survival games. I don't think there's many other reviews up right now. You can watch the Gem Wars quick look. I just uploaded the Poly Bridge video to YouTube as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. As usual, if you want to help out the show, check out the Patreon, patreon.com, Early Access Podcast, Amazon banner on the website. Click through, bookmark it, use it whenever you buy anything, blah, blah, blah. It helps me out. Doesn't cost you anything. But other than that, I'll see you guys on Thursday, hopefully with the rest of the week. I'll have a lot more stuff out there. But until then, guys, have a good night.